very good morning to all of you. Let me first of all extend a warm welcome to all the delegates of Rail India Conference, and let me also compliment the organizers for arranging this event to bring all stakeholders of Indian Railways and rail industries together under one platform. All of you are aware that Indian Railways happens to be the lifeline of railways. You can see from the fact that we carry around 8 billion passengers in our system, which is almost equivalent to the population of the whole world. We carry more than 1 billion tons of traffic. We run around 20,000 trains a day. So you can see the vastness of Indian Railways network. And we happen to be the topmost passenger carrier and fourth largest freight carrier. But we are little different from all other railway systems. Most of the other railway systems either have passenger traffic, like in Europe and maybe Japan, or you have only freight traffic. Bulk of it is only freight traffic, like in Australia and USA, etc. Indian Railways is unique in the sense that we carry mixed traffic on the same track. We do not have separate tracks for passenger and freight. So that has put a lot of limitations on the way we operate our system. The Indian Railways in the present form came way back in 1950-51. And from that time onwards, in last, say, 65 years or so, we have increased the traffic output almost 15 to 16 times. But the track infrastructure or rolling infrastructure has gone up from that time only 3 to 4 times, besides other technological inputs which have gone into the system. So what it has put on the system is a severe pressure on the network. There is a severe traffic congestion in the system, which can be realized from the fact that our bulk of the traffic moves on the quadrilaterals and diagonals, which means that only 16% of the network carries around 60% of the traffic. So most of the corridors which fall on this quadrilateral have line capacity utilization, which is over 100%, 120%, and some sections even 150%. What it has ultimately resulted? It has resulted in poor services. We are not able to meet full demand as and when it is needed. Maybe somebody can say on average I am able to meet, but the peak demand I am not able to carry, whether it is freight services or it is passenger services. And the services are not good in the sense that I have not been able to increase the speed. So once I am not able to provide the services, I am not able to charge extra money. And if I am not able to charge extra money, I do not create enough surplus for reinvesting in the system. So we were caught in a vicious cycle that underinvestment resulted in poor services resulted in less surplus, resulting in further less investment. So this cycle was continuing for quite some time in the Indian railway system. In last 2.5 years of present government, or last 3 years of present government, we have tried to come out of this vicious cycle by breaking the cycle of underinvestment in railways. The capital expenditure, which used to be around 50,000 crores, if I may use the word crores because bulk of the audience here is Indian, it has almost doubled to around 1 lakh crore. We have drawn out an action plan for 5 years, which is 8.56 lakh crores. The commissioning of new tracks, electrifications, etc., has almost doubled in last 2 years. So with these capacity investments which are going in next 5 years, I am very sure that the bottlenecks which we are seeing today will be things of past, and we will be able to provide the services as we wish them to be. And we have already laid down that by 2020, we will have certain milestones which we will be able to achieve. Like we should be able to provide a reserved accommodation to a passenger on demand. Today it is not there. There are long waiting lists, particularly on sectors which are very popular. I should be able to run freight trains on a particular timetable. In Indian Railways, we do not have timetabled freight trains at the moment. Our average, even though we have maximum speeds on this system which go up to 160 kmph today on one corridor, the average speed is less than 50 km per hour as far as mail express trains are concerned. Similarly, on freight side, the average speeds are even half of that. So my target is that by 2020, I should be able to increase the mail express train speeds, average speeds, to around 75 to 80 kmph. Similarly, on freight side, I should be able to increase the speeds to average to 50 kmph. We have lot of level crossings and almost 5,000 numbers on broad gauge network which are still unmanned, which keep causing a lot of accidents because of road traffic crossing the rail traffic. I should be able to remove all those in next 3 years. And on environment side also, we are making a lot of investment, and we should be able, presently there is a direct discharge of human waste on tracks. We should be able to replace all of them by bio-toilets. So these are the targets on which we are working, and we are very sure that the investment that is coming into Indian Railways will help us in achieving these targets. And the investment, somebody may ask as to from where the investment is coming. We have gone in for low-cost funding through LIC, which is a long-term funding of 30 years or so. They are giving us 1.5 lakh crores over next 5 years, which is going to, and we have a lot of joint ventures now with various states, various customers like NTPC, SAIL, NMDCs, who are our major customers. We have a lot of joint ventures and cost-sharing projects with them. And there are few more developments which are taking place today. We are constructing 2 dedicated freight corridors. One is eastern, which is supposed to run from eastern part of India up to northern area of Ludhiana, and western from near Delhi, Dadri up to JNPT port. Up till now, Railways thinking was, okay, when the traffic comes, then we create the infrastructure. Perhaps dedicated freight corridor has been the first project that has been taken up by Indian Railways in advance of projection of demands. What freight traffic I anticipate will move on railway system, this DFC takes into account that thing. And we are likely to commission both the corridors by 2019-20. And this is going to have a spin-off benefit in the sense that today, as I mentioned, that we run common traffic, mixed traffic on our corridors. Lot of freight traffic gets transferred to these two corridors. And the released capacity will help me in running passenger trains at much higher speeds than what they are running today. We have already sanctioned 2 projects in this budget of 17-18 for upgrading the speeds on Delhi-Howrah and Delhi-Mumbai to 160 to 200 kmph, both these corridors. And as and when other freight corridors come up, we'll increase the speed on all other corridors to 160 to 200 kmph. So the ultimate target is that 10,000 kilometers of Indian Railways should be covered by medium high speed, which is 160 to 200 kmph. Another development is high speed, which one corridor we are making from Mumbai to Ahmedabad with the help of technical as well as financial assistance from Japan. And that will bring new technologies which will in general change the ecosystem of Indian Railways technologies, and a lot of spin of benefits will be there. For we have taken a lot of measures to attract the private investment in the railways, whether it is sidings, it is freight terminals, it is station development, and other non-fare business, which presently is hardly 3% of the total revenues, and we are targeting that in another 3 years it should go up to the 10%. We already have setting up 2 factories of locomotives, electric as well as diesel, which has brought one of the biggest FDIs in Indian system, and we are going to bid for a EMU/MEMU factory at Kancharapara shortly. The foreign investors and other private investors have a lot of apprehensions about the policies of railways and whether there will be a fair deal or not. So what we are doing is, Cabinet has already approved establishment of a regulator with the name of Railway Development Authority, which will give you a predictable framework for an investment in Indian Railways with a fair play from both the sides, railways as well as the investment, so that people have no doubts on that there will be change in the policy, and whatever are the returns they are expecting will remain as per the projections given. So I am very sure that Indian Railways is on a growth path which will change the scene of present scene of constraints on various areas to a scene where we have enough capacity to move all the traffic that is available, whether it is passenger or freight. And you all know that railway is the most economical, environment-friendly mode of transport. And if we have to help the economy, we have to help the environment, we just have to move more by railways. And that is what Indian Railways is trying to attempt. I am very sure that the delegates present here will deliberate on the various issues which are bothering them, how they can help Indian Railways to improve the capacity, improve the technology, improve the safety, and ultimately the environment of Indian ecosystem. So I thank you very much for giving me opportunity to talk to you, and I am very sure that the discussions in this summit will help Indian Railways and various stakeholders to work together to modernize Indian Railways to the next higher level. Thank you very much.